Welcome to Enjoy Fort Wayne. This episode is brought to you by the YLNI Farmers Market and highlights the 350 vendors that make up the #1 market in the state of Indiana.
Hello, I'm Shannon with Batter Up by Shannon.
I'm Brendan with Ammo, Rubs, and Sauces.
Awesome. So this is interesting in that this is the first time we've had, not that we've had two people, we've had two people a number of times on the show, but never the family as weaving in two, right? So two different completely, which is not completely different, but the items that you sell are obviously.
Yeah, I always say that the husband and son, they sell the stuff that makes dinner, and I fill out dessert, so we're just all inclusive. But
yeah, that's perfect.
So we at the market, we are actually listed under our kind of like parent name, 2911 group, and we've got both the Batter Up and the Ammo underneath that, so that we can be in one space and we can help each other out and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick before we go back and find out how you guys all started, let's get in exactly what you do with starting with the dinner, the sauces and stuff. What is everything that you sell?
We sell a lot of rubs for like smoking and slow cooking, as well as like seasonings for grilling and like frying, like wings and stuff like that, along with kind of like the sauces that go with all that kind of stuff, like barbecue sauces that you'd see on like pulled pork sandwiches, ribs, and then buffalo sauces and some other stuff like that.
Okay. And was it more for the sauces and all that stuff? Whose idea really was the?
To be honest, that was my husband's idea.
Okay.
He's still at work. so we're here. But we have a metal fab shop. We don't know how to stay relaxed and calm. We own a metal fab shop.
Sounds like it, yeah.
And we were making smokers and pizza ovens and testing those, and we had enough people say, "Hey, you need to bottle that stuff." Because they were getting
it's that good.
They were getting this food in our test cooks of the ovens and stuff, and they said, "You need to bottle that." And it took him quite a few years to really decide that, okay, I'm going to try it. And the Batter Up side, my side, I had been doing the market for a year, and he saw how well that was going, and then he dove in and did.
Oh.
And he dove in at that point and said, okay, I'm going to try the rubs and sauces and stuff. And then we even got further than that. Now we've got the metal fab side. My son is doing like the pizza steels and the pizza cutters and homemade big huge spatulas and stuff, and he does all of it handcrafted, the woodwork handles, all of the steel, everything. So he's been doing all of that as well. So yeah, we just, like I said, we don't know how to remain calm.
Oh, that's awesome. I like those kind of people. So you started first as a vendor.
I did.
Now let's talk about you then. When did you actually start realizing like, okay, I'm going to do this as a business?
I think it was 5 or 6 years. It's all a big blur at this point. I think it was 5.
If it was before COVID, yeah, it's probably a blur.
It was all a big blur. It's about 5 or 6 years ago. I finally dove in and tried to do the market. And I just, my daughter she used to own Young Urban Homesteaders, which was at the market for years, and I think she was there for like 9-10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And she introduced me to Ashley, and Ashley said, just come out and try it out, and if you like it, we can get you a booth set up. And very helpful and everything. So I baked my little heart out, and
my sister had been wanting her to do this for like 2 years.
It's my girly thing to do. With us owning the metal fab shop, the baking is always my girly thing to do.
Sure,
so
makes sense.
I've been baking cakes and stuff for family and friends for forever and a day. I mean, 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's been about the last 5 or 6 years that I've been actually using the Batter Up by Shannon and doing it as a business, and it's grown. I've got a nice customer base and everything. And then, like I said, then the husband dove in with the barbecue, and the son dove in with the work, and
Boom.
there's no stopping us. I don't know what's next. So
Yeah. So you understand you have to have some level of insight that you understand this isn't the norm and that a lot of people don't do this.
No.
And so so let me ask you, how did you first come to this decision that you were just gonna 110% be in for this stuff?
We've always worked hard and stuff anyway. When you own your own business, you work harder than anybody out there. Honestly, it's nonstop. It's constantly on your mind. You have to worry about, all of the stuff that, working for someone else, you don't have to worry about. You have to worry about payroll, and you have taxes, and how you're gonna buy toilet paper for the bathroom stalls, and all, you have to worry about all that stuff.
Of course.
And so hard work has never.
But some people don't want to do that.
No,
you understand
and that
like,
is perfectly fine. It's something that we have done for years and years. We've had the metal fab shop for, I think we bought it in 2002.
This is almost going to be 22 years.
Yeah. So he's grown up his whole life.
I was going to say, hey, you're not too much older than 22.
I am 22.
He is
There you
22. Yeah. He's grown up his whole life with us owning a business.
I just turned 22 like a week ago?
Yeah, so
it's about a week ago. So
wow.
yeah, so it's weird to have a 22-year-old son that has, I don't want to say worked in the metal fab, but has learned and grown up there so much that he's got 15 years experience.
Yeah.
He's been welding since he was 7. So
Yeah.
so
There's 30-year-olds that don't have his experience.
yeah,
right?
exactly. So I mean, I know we're an odd group, but we really don't. It sounds silly. We don't have a life. We have our work as our life, and there are times it took us 18 years to get a vacation, type thing. So if you're gonna do this, you have to be willing to put your whole heart and soul into it, or it's never going to work. And we seem to be growing each year, and we try to add to it. And the batter up and the ammo is kind of the extra little fun stuff that we do. We get to reach out and touch, a lot of people. And my husband always says it's all about faith, family, and freedom, and you're able to share that with the community and stuff, and that's kind of the fun aspect of it. So
Yeah, well, let's get into more of the market then, because that's kind of what you are leading us to with what you said. That encompasses the market to me. How did you first either hear about the YLNI Farmers Market, or like, were you ever going there as a customer at all?
we went as a customer, but basically when my daughter was selling at the market, when she was young urban homesteaders, they were selling like the guacamole and the fermented stuff and everything. So we would go and we would support her, and Mom, you need to get out here. You've been baking forever. You need to get out here. And she finally just, pushed me over the edge, and I finally dove in and tried it. And once you get that ball rolling, there's no stopping us. So we are not the type of people that kind of do things in little bits. We're going to dive in head first. And
Yeah.
We just kind of do it.
yeah, you just do what you got to do to get it done. So
I like what you said, that a lot of people wait because they think that things have to maybe be, well, let me just do this first. Hold on. I can't really launch this yet for 6 months and then 6 months happens and they're like, well, hold on. It's got to be another 6 months. It doesn't sound like that's what you guys do.
Well, it took me years of Samantha's my daughter, and it took years of Samantha telling me, Mom, you really need to do this. Give it a shot. Give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
For me to feel comfortable in my quality. There's a certain thing that I want to do. I want things made homemade. I don't want to use a cake box and, and mix it all up. I don't think that's just not the way I want to do. I want it to be a certain way, and I had to get comfortable in my own self-worth, basically, to get to that point. It took me years to finally go, okay, I'm going to try it. And then once I tried it, it was, balls rolling, get it moving. And like I said, then the next year they dove in, and you haven't stopped us yet.
I think we dove in the first, like winter market back in.
And I was summer, wasn't I?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
It's
what
been
the
5-6
building
years. I don't know. It's all a big blur.
Yeah,
So
it goes by quick.
it
doesn't
does. It's very fast.
Think of 2023 as we wind down.
Yeah. It's
mean-
gone.
It's crazy.
It's gone. Christmas is right around the corner. Lord help us.
Yeah.
Order your Christmas cookies now.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm curious. You guys definitely, the vibe, I'm sure listeners can attest to this. Your guys' vibe is very positive. You're go-getters. You're, let's get it done. Let's go. And we'll figure it out. We got it. I'm curious, though. I know for a fact, as a fellow business owner, I know that life isn't just peaches and cream. And I'm curious, can you think of a time where maybe, I don't know, either you weren't sure if this was going to pan out the way, or was there, and what did you do to get through it?
Honestly, it can happen, and it still happens. There's still moments where you're unsure if it's worth it, if it's, because we put in a lot of time. We work at the metal fab shop all day long. I go home from there and I go baking, and he's, mixing seasonings up and stuff, or he's working on his metal work. It is nonstop. And there are times where you get that, is it worth it? And then you just have to step back and realize, put it all in God's hands. He's got it. He's led us down this path. Let's trust in him and go. And sometimes, it's hard, but
At a certain point, you've got to kind of, I don't want to say like resign yourself to it, but I can't think of any better words.
Yeah.
So, there's been days where we just had to get stuff done out in the metal fab shop that were 16-hour days.
Yeah.
And that's not a fun thing, but you gotta go with it. You gotta just do it.
nobody else is going to do it for you. So, if you're thinking about doing something for the market or whatever, and you're have this little dream of this little business type thing of doing it, make sure that you're gonna have to put in more time than you ever thought you'd ever need to.
That's good. I like that.
But it can be very rewarding. I have met more people and that have helped us along the way, and that have been kind, and
when you go through tough times,
and supportive, and we wouldn't have that if we didn't throw ourselves out there and try. So
100%.
And if we fail, we fail. It's not gonna, we're gonna keep on trying.
That's something just though that we don't. It takes a while. People, you struggle, you get back up from it, and we just, as like a family, we don't really have that failure mentality. It's like it's gonna work out. There's no other option.
Yeah.
And when you own your own business, when you do this kind of stuff, and when you actually like to do what you do, you have that option. I can't see myself doing anything else because I don't know anything else. This is
who you are.
Yeah. This is I've actually talked about this with my family and everything. Is I think that this is my purpose in life, like my purpose of why I'm here. I just like what I do.
How does it make you feel?
I'm pretty proud of the kid. I don't know. He amazes me. I have been very blessed with children that are spectacular.
That's really cool.
And we all have that entrepreneurial spirit. I don't know if that's, just because we raised them in that light or whatnot.
That's what they know.
But yeah, I couldn't be more proud. And he's always, he works at the shop. He works at home. He's always the first one to help out. And truly, if you walk into the market and somebody drops something or what, he's the first one over there helping pick it up. So yeah. I'm pretty proud of him.
If I see it.
If you see it, yeah, exactly. If you're awake at that hour, right?
Oh, that's very cool. I'm sure this is a part where the people listening just are really enjoying this, because that's a very cool moment for you guys. That's really awesome. And I see it because I see you guys, it's been over a year now that I've been affiliated with the market and doing this stuff and meeting people and being around and stuff. And so you notice certain people more than others. And for whatever reason, it's just people's personality and stuff. And so I can attest to that, you guys are the one of the warmest people.
Thank
you
you.
know, when people visit your tent or whatever, your booth, they're gonna feel good about themselves. You know, that's one thing that I've noticed.
It's my social aspect of my life that the market is. I mean, you think about it, we get up, we go to work with family, we come home, and that is our day. I don't have a lot of social life out there anymore. And I am, as my son has called me for many a year, a social butterfly. So that gives me my outlet so that I can chit chat. And
that's where the market's helped me, because I'm a massive introvert. So for the past, 5 years, I've had to get out of that.
Get out there a little bit, yeah.
I'm someone who can make something. I'm not necessarily the salesman, and that's what it's kind of forced me to be. And
I think it's improved you because of it.
I've been better as, talking to people, getting to know people more, because that's just not me. Like I never had a problem talking to friends or anything, but it was just I never had that social life because I didn't really feel like I needed it. But it's nice to have every now and then. I'm a pretty quiet person to begin with.
Yeah, but it's good to have that other side through this. I mean, it's really cool. What can you tell me about the market itself that keeps you coming back?
Everybody at the YLNI Farmers Market is family, and honestly, I feel that vibe when I'm there. I've been to other markets and stuff, and it just feels like the people are there setting up, and they're up and gone, and man, everybody knows everybody. Everybody helps everybody out. I like the community of it. It feels like family, and that's always important to me. Like I said, it's my social aspect. It's my social life is there. So, and it's not just that I reach out and talk to everybody, because I do.
Right. I know. I
am a gabber, but others come to us too. I mean, you walk in when you're loading and unloading and stuff, people are holding doors for each other. They're helping you lift things. They're, and you don't necessarily need that help, but knowing that it's there it's just very reassuring and comforting and everything. And
makes you want to come back.
Exactly. And I see them, all the vendors act that way with the customers too. I mean,
honestly, it's just a neat place to be. You can feel that when you're there, and you can see it with your eyes. I mean, we have some people who've come from Detroit, and they actually tell us they come from Detroit just to get our products and everything. And we've had people from Georgia who've done the same thing.
Yes, people from Georgia come up to get our ammo, rubs, and sauces.
And, so you can tell that it's special in a way.
Now, they have family here, mind you, but, still.
Still.
Couple hour drive. But, you can tell that people have more to offer others than just what their product is. It makes me really happy, and it makes it worth it to me when someone just comes up to me out of the blue and says, this is really good. Like, I really like this. I shared it with my family. We had our holiday turkey rub out, and it's only from, beginning of November to end of December. And we had someone who bought it, used it on their Thanksgiving turkey, and they said it was the best turkey they ever had. And
that's why you do it,
so it's
right?
great. I mean,
we've got a the story I like was this person bought a Cajun seasoning, and we're all about the barbecue side is all about teaching you how to do it yourself, because we want you to bring your family together and get that warm. Food can do that, brings everybody together and makes you all warm and fuzzy, and and so we pass out the recipes and stuff, and you can talk for hours with my husband and my son about how to barbecue. He may not be very social, but he will talk for hours on it. But so we gave this lady, she bought a Cajun seasoning, and we gave her a recipe. It's one of my favorite recipes I do. It is a Cajun chicken fettuccine Alfredo. And you put the Cajun on the chicken, you put it in the sauce. It is delicious, and it's the easiest recipe to make, which makes it, you can make it on a weeknight, no problem. And she made it, and she came back specifically to tell me that she was bringing that to their Christmas dinner because it was so good. And it's just like, that just warms my heart,
Yeah.
knowing that we have touched someone and changed their whole family history just with one little recipe.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's what it's about.
it's about spreading that joy and stuff for us.
I mean,
we
as-
really enjoy it.
As silly as it sounds, I mean, that's really something that makes it worth it. I mean, and that's how you can tell that, you know, the YLNI market is something special, is because it's not just the vendors that are like family, it's your customers as well. And it's just the people who are there.
It's both.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it really is both.
Exactly.
Like the interactions between vendor to vendor, like who's next to you on one particular day, and might be Timeless Tallow or, you know, Shelby over there or whoever. And then, but then the person who's walking over to both of your booths, you strike up a conversation with them, and maybe they buy this week, maybe they don't. It's, you know, oh, maybe next week they will.
Exactly.
It's just like, man, it's just so cool. The vibe is in there that Ashley puts together is really great.
She really does a good job. I mean, honestly,
There's a lot of you guys to deal with.
praise down to her, because she really, I mean, and all of her and Nicole and all of the volunteers and everything.
Oh my gosh,
you know,
yeah.
you can see the work that they have put into it, and as a vendor, I appreciate it a lot.
No, they work hard. They're here early mornings. They're here
Exactly.
on Thursdays and Fridays. They're painting. They're doing this. They're putting up more lights. They're doing this. They're texting, well, what about this? I mean, it's because I see the group chat.
And
it's crazy.
If you ever have any problems or questions, I know for a fact you just send them off and they'll take care of you. You know, they help you out where they can.
Yeah.
So
No, it's great. That's awesome. Well, I have one last question to ask, but I've never done it this way with two separate. I've done it again with two separate people, but with two different entities. However, it should still be fine. Here's the question. We are pretending that the mayor is commissioning you guys, commissioning you, and then we're going to pretend that the mayor's commissioning you separately to create a sign that the entire 260 or Northeast Indiana will see. Okay. And the phrase gets to be written by you for the whole city. So do we want to start with Mom, or who do we want to start with?
She can go first because I got to
You can
think about
think.
this.
Okay.
let's
And
see.
you can kind of talk it through with your personality.
You think? Yeah, me on the radio. Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is be nice to each other. We're all in this together. That's the first thing that, you know, if we were just all a little bit nicer, the world would be a much better place. And I have no doubt that is true. So that's probably what I would go with.
Yeah, love it. Did you have enough time? Did she?
I mean,
did I
did she
talk
go
long
to-
enough? Do
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
to keep going?
that was
You know when you're out at a restaurant and someone's like, well, you just order real quick and that'll give me time. And then they're like, yeah, I'll have a burger and fries, okay? And you're like, well, that was enough time.
like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, honestly, I think I agree with what she said more or less, just because I'm someone that I wasn't always this way, but I try to look for the positive in everything. You know, I try to see that.
What would your grandmother say?
Positive begets positive.
There you
That's
go.
what she says.
That's
Hey,
exactly what she says.
That's pretty good. That's a good phrase to put up if we're going to do this.
And, you know, I think it's just that people need to, you know, you don't have to necessarily get along with everyone. You don't have to necessarily agree with everyone's opinion, but you can still like that person. You don't, you know, there's
You can be respectful to everyone.
Yep.
100%.
You
There's
know,
no reason not to.
There's plenty of people who I've had bad blood with and everything like that, but I'm not going to walk up to them and, you know, call them names or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. You know, I can still be a wonderful person no matter what. So I think it's just to be kind to everybody. You don't know what that person's going through.
That's a big thing, too. You don't know what people's battles are going on.
Honestly, to just give someone, to have a conversation with someone out of nowhere could completely change their day. It could change their life out of nowhere. You know, you've got the butterfly effect kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could change somebody's life. So I think it's just to help people, you know.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. I raised him right.
So, okay, let's close with, give us the details of where they can find you online, Facebook and things like that.
Oh yes, I'm going to. He's my online guru over here because I don't do that. I know I'm on Facebook. I know I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, you're on Facebook both at Batter Up by Shannon.
Okay, Batter Up by Shannon. Got it.
And then we've got for the Ammo Rubs and Sauces, it's on Facebook. It is Ammo Rubs and Sauces, and then on Instagram it's Ammo Barbecue, and then for the metalwork side of it, because three things here, we don't know how to stay calm.
Stay still. Yeah.
It's on Facebook and Instagram. It's Saber Metalworks.
Okay.
And it's SABRE
RE. Okay.
Metalworks.
Okay. Like Sabre.
It's actually
Yep.
it's the way I came up with the name was my daughter's name is Samantha, and Brendan and I put them together.
Oh my
Saber.
gosh.
It's all about family for us.
Yes,
so
I love it.
Faith, family, and freedom, man.
So keep it in the family and make sure you check out this family every Saturday 9 to 1 at the YLNI Farmers Market. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by Coraggio Media. The show was edited by me and sponsored by the YLNI Farmers Market. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest updates. We will see you next week, where we will be sure to show you how you can enjoy Fort Wayne.